What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a video discussing the upcoming free agency of star guard of the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, some of his landing spots, some of my favorite personal spots for him. Now, let's get into it. So, as of right now, Fred VanVleet is a free agent. He declined today, just a couple hours ago. He declined his $22.8 million player option for the upcoming season, for next season, excuse me. So, he's a free agent coming in July. We all saw this coming. I think there's a slight chance he returns, but I would most likely lean pretty heavily that he's going to go somewhere else. The writing's on the wall, especially when a player is shot for the last couple of years. And I know Raptors fans some won't admit it. I've been doing videos on Fred VanVleet being traded for a couple of years now. Him or OG or Pascal. And there's no way in the world, every player can't be Miles Turner where your name's going to float around for 3 or 4 years and you end up staying. I think there was something to it. I think Fred VanVleet will be going this year, this summer. It just depends on where to me. And I have a couple landing spots for him, honestly. One of my favorite spots, but it depends on another player, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. I think he will be great alongside Luka. I think he's a better fit alongside Luka than Kyrie Irving. But the only thing is they need Kyrie to go somewhere else first. Preferably a sign and trade. If not, just go ahead somewhere else. The Houston Rockets put their name in the hat yesterday in the rumor mill with them potentially either not going after James Harden or Harden staying in Philly, and they had the runway to go somewhere else. And they did open up yesterday with the rumor of Kyrie going there. You know, Even Fred VanVleet going to Houston to me makes some sense. Bring a playmaker, bring a veteran player that can go with Jalen Green. And as I said yesterday, I did a video last couple days, one on Kyrie and one on James Harden a couple weeks ago on him returning to the Rockets. I like Fred VanVleet to the Rockets more than those two players. Yes, they're better and they have higher or more star power than Fred VanVleet does. But as of this point right now, he's he's been a better two-way player than both of those guys. But he's a better leader from what we all seen. He's a better just an overall team guy and fits the mold of that Rockets team where they have a bunch of young guys. They don't need to ship all of them out to bring in guys like Fred VanVleet. They could just go ahead and sign him, add him to their core, and have him pair with Green. He fits a lot better with Green and KPJ than Kyrie and James Harden does, in my personal opinion. So I like the Rockets fit. I love him. I love him with the Mavericks. I think that's a great move. One other move I like a lot, but it might not happen. He's a Chicago kid, if you didn't know. So him going to the Bulls makes sense. But I did a video on the potential of Chris Paul if he's waived going to the Bulls also. That makes sense as well. But the thing is, the Bulls are kind of tight on cap space. They would have to probably not want to get back Kobe White and Vucevic. They might can squeeze White back in for some guard depth and still bring on Fred VanVleet. But their main three free agents are Vucevic, the big man, the center. They have Kobe White, and they have what's the guard name from Illinois, guard slash forward from Illinois. They're all three their main free agents. So they might have to not bring two of those guys back, or maybe Vucevic, and then keep those two other guys for depth, and then bring on Fred VanVleet to pair with DeMar DeRozan and a guy like Zach Levine. Forgot his name for a second. So that's a pretty good fit there. I wouldn't mind that. That would be a pretty good team to have, and like I said, Fred VanVleet is a good two-way player. He's not the most dominant defensive guy. I'm not saying that. He definitely tries. He definitely knows what to do there, and he gives it his all on defensive end. So he's not really a great two-way guy, but he definitely tries more than some other guys do. Another team I like a lot, this has been rumored for a while now, him to Orlando Magic. They could definitely outright sign him. That's definitely possible. Or could sign a trade for him. That's definitely possible also. That makes sense too. They have a bunch of guards, as we all know. Jalen Suggs, Mikal Fultz, Cole Anthony, the list goes on. So they don't need to keep all those guys. It's kind of like a little cluster of guards. So trade some of those guys away, plus probably Jonathan Isaac, who fits the Raptors too for their long, lanky forwards. So that makes sense there also. Like I said earlier, that move has been discussed for a while now, in NBA rumor circles. So that's also something there. Another one I like as well, Los Angeles Lakers. That's possible. It's tough though. Austin Reeves is kind of key here. Do they bring him back no matter what the cost? Because he could get about 100 million. Do they still try to keep him and bring VanVleet on? That's tough there, and still bring Matt Rui. Kind of impossible, but you never know what they can pull off with the cap and all the other stuff they can do with contracts. So you never know, but it's highly doubtful for the Lakers. But they do make sense. Make a lot of sense, actually. Another team, the Portland Trail Blazers, package, I'm not sure what they can package for Fred VanVleet, but it is possible. I guess Simon's in the, fourth pick, third pick, whatever they have for Fred VanVleet. I still wouldn't love it. I just really think Dame should just go. I really, really do. I really do. So I think Dame should just go for me personally. But there is a chance that that move could sneak into the sneak into being reality. Another one, the Phoenix Suns. That's something I predicted myself this past trade deadline. As I said before, I liked him over KD. I know, like I said earlier, KD's a bad player, but you don't have to give up so much to get a guy like Fred VanVleet. You wouldn't have had to give up Bridges and Cam Johnson. Probably just one, probably just Cam and picks and maybe Aiton. And that's not a bad fit there, in my opinion. If that move would have went down, kept Bridges, added Fred VanVleet, kept Chris Paul, that would have been a pretty good squad. Have Bridges come off the bench, or whoever you would have had it or made it work, it would have worked, and that would have been a deep team with a good finishing starting five, a good finishing five. Excuse me. You would have Fred VanVleet, Chris Paul, D Book in the backcourt, and the forward you would have Bridges. I guess Bridges, D Book, and probably Bismack Biyombo or some other center that they would have grabbed somewhere else. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's a very good offense. Instead of now you have KD, Chris Paul, Booker, Aiton, and Aiton's trash. So I think the Suns kind of hurt themselves by doing that. Fred VanVleet would have been a better move. Heck, I would have even went for Terry Rozier to me if you would have kept some of your depth, then trade for KD and give up everybody. So I've been on that bandwagon. Go to my old videos and do that. But I really like Fred VanVleet around the trade deadline to the Pelicans, and I like them to the Suns a whole lot. Those are my two guys there. The Clippers as well. There's another LA team, makes sense. So a bunch of teams out there for them. If I really had to give my overall honest pick, I would probably say the Magic. I think the Magic right now are the best. Probably will be the best landing spot for them. As far as team need, have his own team, pairing with some young guys. They could be up and coming in the East in a couple years if they make the right moves and right acquisitions, which is definitely possible. They're not a bad team at all, so they can add him. Uh, Paulo Banchero continues to progress the way he's been doing, and to bring in a couple more guys. I think that's a pretty good squad. They pay him a bunch of money, and he can go there, shine for the next couple of years, and be the star that he's kind of been hidden as. In Toronto, they had an overall better team, so he can definitely shine more, score for more points, be more consistent, stuff like that. Things that are definitely harder to do sometimes in certain situations with, better players, different teammates. Pascal needs the ball. Gary Trent needs the ball. OG needs the ball to some. You know what I'm saying? So Scotty Barnes, they try to give him the ball, force feeding the ball sometimes, kind of over the top in my opinion, but it was necessary because you want to progress him to where he needs to be, where he should be and need to be, and where the team needs him to be, to be in title contention. So it makes sense to just kind of tough sometimes, certain offensive styles, just kind of get change as you add more pieces. And Barnes is a great piece to have, but he was kind of force fed and kind of changed people's roles a little bit when he had the ball in his hands. So overall, man, Fred VanVleet will be one of the top guys in free agency. Gonna make a lot of money, more than 22.8 that he turned down. So I'm excited to see where he goes. No real prediction for him yet. It's still only June, but closer to July free agency time, I'm gonna definitely have a prediction video around that time on where I think he will land. So, but that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a video discussing the upcoming free agency of star guard of the Raptors, Fred VanVleet. Some of his landing spots, some of my favorite personal spots for him. Now let's get into it. So as of right now, Fred VanVleet is a free agent. He declined today, just a couple hours ago. He declined his $22.8 million player option for the upcoming season, for next season, excuse me. So he's a free agent coming in July. We all saw this coming. I think there's a slight chance he returns, but I would most likely lean pretty heavily that he's going to go somewhere else. The writing's on the wall, especially when a player is shot for the last couple of years. And I know Raptors fans some won't admit it. I've been doing videos on Fred VanVleet being traded for a couple of years now. Him or OG or Pascal. And there's no way in the world, every player can't be Miles Turner where your name's been floated around for 3 or 4 years and you end up staying.